Grand Peace Online is in no way a terrible game, as it has been arguably the best one-piece game on Roblox for the last few years. However, Grand Peace Online does lack in many features that it could add to improve its game, and we are going to go over those features. I will often refer to Blox Fruits in this video as it is the most popular Roblox one-piece game so far. Number 1. Explanation. Grand Peace Online starts off as a fun game. It has story in which Blox Fruits lacks in, while also having a much better feel to the game in general. Grand Peace Online has a level range of 1 to 625, while Blox Fruits has a level range of 1 to over the thousands. You would probably believe that Blox Fruits is much more longer in grinding levels. However, much more people quit Grand Peace Online early than Blox Fruits. There are many reasons to this. Number 1 being that Grand Peace Online has a very different scale of leveling. In Grand Peace Online, you cannot one-shot most of your enemies at your current level due to the stat system functioning differently. Whereas in Blox Fruits, if you just put all of your stats into one attribute, you will be able to kill anything on your island. This usually causes the new player to get bored of Grand Peace Online, then quitting as there is much more required to kill a simple bandit. Number 2. Grand Peace Online's stat system functions too differently. In Blox Fruits, whenever one stat is put into melee, you will gain stamina alongside damage on your fists and your fighting style. In Grand Peace Online, there is a separate attribute called Stamina, which only gives you stamina. There is also a separate attribute listed as Fighting Style, which only gives you damage towards your fighting style abilities. The reason this is such an issue for Grand Peace Online is because the players get too confused, and it is much harder to progress with these separated stats. Number 3. Blocking. This one is very obvious, but I'll still explain it. In Grand Peace Online, there is a block system which you can block attacks with the F key on your keyboard. There is also perfect blocking, which stuns your opponent for a while. In Blox Fruits, there is simply no blocking system. This is much easier as Blox Fruits relies more on just having fun rather than skilled fighting. Brain-dead players will see this and instantly go to Blox Fruits. Number 4. Content. Grand Peace Online lacks in new content. They constantly refurbish old boss fights and old events. Sometimes they just put them back in the game with nothing else done. On the other hand, Blox Fruits just lacks in content. It has had the same top bosses for the past few years. An example being the Leviathan. Once you beat Grand Peace Online, it's boring. Once you beat Blox Fruits, there are still other things to do like farm bounty and occasional events from the owners. Number 5. Trading. Similarly to the content side of things, once you obtain everything in Grand Peace Online, it gets very boring. It is much easier to obtain everything due to the fact that basically every item in the game is tradable. Therefore, it cannot maintain players over a long period of time. Blox Fruits, on the other hand, only has 3 types of tradables. The first tradable being, obviously, fruits, the second tradable being game passes, and the third being scrolls, which can be bought with Robux Shop too. Number 6. Ease of access. Due to Grand Peace Online being a much younger game than Blox Fruits, it of course would have less time for growth. It also was paid access for many years after its initial release, starting off at $200 for testers to buy. Then it had turned into 300 Robux on release. Grand Peace Online was created in 2018, a year earlier than Blox Fruits, although Grand Peace Online was only released in 2020, a year after Blox Fruits. Number 7. Combat. similarly to the systems and attributes I was explaining earlier. Grand Peace Online is much harder. Blocks Fruits relies on running and using attacks that can stun from guaranteed long range, the only evasive in the game being hypothetical, whereas Grand Peace Online has a whole combat system. Perfect blocks, evasives, blocking, anti-teaming, and many more. It is much harder to play Grand Peace Online overall, therefore it lacks in players and ideas. Number 8. Pay to win. You could class both Blocks Fruits and Grand Peace Online as pay to win due to the fact both offer game passes that can increase chances of getting items, increase money, increase exp, notify fruits anymore. However, Grand Peace Online is clearly too pay to win. The difference is that their game passes consist of items that can never be reobtained. Some people buy the items just for trading value and even an upper hand. An example of this is the all-seeing eye. All forms of this are very valuable and are just bought with Robux. They are much more valuable than most things that take hours or days to obtain. Number 9. Cash grab. Grand Peace Online can be classed as a cash grab due to nearly all the items in the shop being limited. Blocks Fruits is also sometimes classed as a cash grab, however their products last a lifetime. Permanent 2 times EXP, 2 times money, 2 times drops, and much more. Grand Peace Online gives you these same products, though with a timed value on it. Example, 5 minutes of 2 times EXP for 50 Robux. Finally, number 10. Ownership, moderation, carelessness, and laziness. Grand Peace Online has many issues to do with their ownership. The owner Foyu is not too bad. However, he makes terrible decisions in anti-cheat and anti-macros. Here's a clip of his anti-cheat that I got banned by. How do we cut corners at such important things like this? Anti-cheat is essential in Roblox games. Either have it or don't have it. The fact that Foyu decided to make his anti-cheat this underdeveloped can put many off the game, including me. I've made a ticket, and it took me 15 hours just to get it open because the moderators do not do their work. A very different experience in any issue with Blocks Fruits moderation. Anyway, I am not trying to say Blocks Fruits is better than Grand Peace Online, because funnily enough, I prefer Grand Peace Online. Though this video took me a long time to make, so if you haven't already, subscribe.